Good morning, everyone. My name is Firefighter Luke. I'd like to welcome you guys to Fire Station 34. Thank you for coming back for those of you that watched our tour last week. Today we're gonna go over our tiller truck, which is right behind me. You guys are gonna get to see some of the tools and equipment that we use. You also see some of the gear that firefighters are wearing, and specifically we're gonna go over some of the gear that we're wearing today. I know many of you are staying home and staying healthy, and we thank you for that. We are going to be doing a lot of different things here today. So the idea is to be able to invite you on a virtual tour of our fire station, but specifically today of our tiller truck. With all that, we want to take a second to really thank you to our community near and far, because the support has been tremendous. We have to thank you so much for all your support. Our driveways are lined with chalk, with messages saying thank you, the signs, the continuous support, the pictures that you guys are sending us from your kids' drawings, the pictures we've gotten of your kids watching this live tour. Your support has been amazing, and we can't thank you enough. And on behalf of all the firefighters, we're here for you guys, and we're happy to be here, and we want to make sure everybody stays safe. But from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for all the support for our fire department and all fire departments around. It's really felt. With me today is going to be Ryan. We are staying safe here. He's going to stay 6 feet away from me. He's wearing a mask. He's wearing gloves. We're going to all be safe, like we want you guys to be as well. We have some other firefighters that are going to be joining us today, and they're going to be talking. They're going to be wearing masks as well, just to keep us all safe. And we're gonna have to keep that distance, that minimum of 6 feet, like we want you guys to do too. Now, a couple of rules in a sense for this tour. This is a live fire station. This is a real fire truck. We're real firefighters. So there's always the chance that we might get a call while this tour is happening. If that's the case, you might see us get dressed. You might see us start driving, and the feed will cut off soon after that. If the feed cuts off, we'll post on our story when we'll resume the feed, depending on how long it takes us to get back. Okay, so just one of those things. Just follow our story, and that's where we'll provide you guys with more updates. Let's see, any other things? Okay, so for those of you that are joining us today for the first time, we're going to go over some things that were similar from last time, but again, this is going to be a whole bunch of new things with the tiller truck. So to start, what do we as firefighters do? What is the job of a firefighter? And we talked about this last week, and our job as firefighters is to help people, right? That's really how we define it. Whether it's someone that has a fire at their house, a car accident, or they're really, really sick, we have the tools and equipment and the training to help people. So that's our job, and that comes in all sorts of different forms. Whatever the emergency is, we're there to help people. So we're gonna get started, and this is a pretty unusual time, right? The reason many of you are watching from home is because you're stuck from home. You're staying home to stay healthy and to protect everybody else. So as firefighters, in today's age, we're wearing some things that make us look a little different. And last time we talked about firefighters and being your friends. So as firefighters, we are friends for life. Once you meet a firefighter, you're friends for life. So take this opportunity to say, we're officially meeting here, and now we're friends for life. So as friends, we don't want you guys hiding from us. We don't want you guys being scared of us. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna show you some of the things that we're wearing that make us look a little silly, make us look a little funny, but we're still your friends. We're still the firefighters that you know and you trust. And so we're gonna start out with the newest gear that we're wearing on some of the calls when somebody's sick and not feeling very well. So with me today, I have firefighter Ryan. He's going to be demonstrating what is some of the gear that we're wearing now. So first of all, Ryan, say hi. We got to stay pretty far apart. And so Ryan has a special suit, and that's going to protect him. He's wearing gloves that are going to protect his hands, and then he's going to put on a mask. Now you guys know Ryan is our friend. He's a firefighter. He's going to sound and look a little different, but he's still Ryan. He's still the one that we trust and we know will come and help us. So this right here is the gear that we're wearing on some calls when people are sick and they need our help. So I know it looks a little funny, but it's still Ryan, our friend, who makes sure that we're safe and makes sure that you're safe. So if you see us wearing this gear, don't be worried. We're just taking extra precautions and we're still your firefighter friends. All right? So that's where you guys look. Can you say hi, Ryan?
Hello.
So Ryan sounds a little funny as well, but still firefighter Ryan, the one we know and trust. Okay, let's get started with the truck. So my friend Ryan here is gonna help me out. So this is our tiller truck. And what makes it a tiller truck is that it has somebody driving the front and somebody drives the back. Believe it or not, this fire truck has 2 drivers at all times. And you guys might notice right on the top, there's a really big ladder, 100-foot ladder. In case somebody needs our help and they're stuck on a building really high, we can use that ladder to help them. So we're gonna show you some of the things in the front and we're gonna show you some of the things in the back and all around. So I'm gonna hand this to my friend Ryan. All right. Okay. So this is a tiller truck. So in order for us to start this, we have to have 2 drivers, somebody ready. So my friend Tom is all the way in the back and he's ready to start this fire truck. So what we do is we turn on a couple switches and we put on these headsets. You guys remember from last week? These headsets let us talk to each other and they also protect our hearing in case we have to use the loud siren. So I'm gonna put this on. Hey Tom, are you there? All right. Let's have you jump onto the driver's seat. So this is what it looks like. I know that it might be a little bit loud. This is what it looks like driving from the front of the truck. We have a lot of buttons and a lot of gauges too. Now this is where the engineer sits. The engineer, again, is the person responsible for driving the apparatus, and the captain would sit over there. Okay. Now we turned on some of the lights and we're gonna show you guys what the siren sounds like. You guys remember from last week, I have a special pedal here and we use the siren to ask people to get out of our way so we can go help somebody a little faster. So go ahead and listen. So the siren and the air horn we use to try to tell people or ask people to move out of our way so we can get somewhere a little faster. I'm gonna turn that off for a second so you guys can hear me. I know that must have been pretty loud. And I'm gonna show you guys some of the lights that our truck has. So the lights are still on. And again, these lights are the ones that we use to ask people to move out of our way so we can go help people. It's pretty cool. And this truck has a lot of lights, has lights all the way to the back, on the sides, everywhere. So people really see us, especially at night. If we're on the freeway, we want people to make sure they see everything we're doing. All right, turn off those guys for a second. All right, so next up, we're gonna show you guys some of the compartments that we have and some of the tools that we use. So as we talked before, firefighters respond to all sorts of different emergencies, and we need all sorts of different tools depending on what the emergency might be. So in order for us to help people, you saw some of the tools that our fire engine has. Our truck has even more tools and equipment. Again, it's all depending on the emergency that we have. So today I'm gonna show you another firefighter. This is my friend, firefighter Nate. He's also an engineer. That means he's responsible for driving the truck, the front of the truck. And Nate's gonna show us some new tools that we're using to help people if they're in a car accident. So I'm gonna turn it over. Here's Nate.
Hey, good morning, everyone. A couple of the tools, as Engineer Hurst talked about today, are our extrication tools that we use specifically for people that are in vehicle accidents. When cars get banged up in an accident, the doors don't always open, so we need to help them get out of the vehicle a lot of the time. And we use the tools that I'm going to show you today to help us with that. We bend and we cut metal so that we can help them get out of their car in an accident. So the first tool that I'm going to show you is, I think commonly a lot of people call these the jaws of life. They're heavy, they're about 70 pounds, and this one is called the DL28 Defender. And the 28 means that when these open up, I'm gonna open them up by turning this swivel right here on the handle, and they're gonna open up to 28 inches wide. Now they have the force to be able to spread, they're called spreaders because they have the force to be able to spread metal apart. As I'm opening this up, they can actually spread a total of 44,000 pounds. Wow. A big force to be able to open and spread things apart. And then they can pinch as well. They close just the other direction by pinching shut. The second tool that I wanted to show you are these cutters. And this is so we can cut metal. If we need to open things up and we're not able to open those doors, we can cut metal, or we can cut roofs off, we can cut entire sides off of the cars. And to do that, we use these cutters. And these are our JL Mach cutters. And the Mach stands for Mother of All Cutters. They're the biggest scissors in the world. So we can open those up, and you can cut through almost anything. And then they'll close all the way. Same thing, we just toggle this thing on the handle that I'm using with my left hand, and then they'll close all the way, and they'll cut just like regular scissors, but they will cut through anything.
That's awesome, Nate. Thank you very much for showing us that. And this is just a little bit of some of the equipment that we have. I mean, as you can see, there's enormous amount of equipment here and different tools that we can use. I'm gonna turn this off for a second so it's a little quieter. Over here we have, in a sense, a giant toolbox. Why don't you guys take a look at this? Look how far that sticks out. Ryan, would you mind holding this for a sec? Thank you. So these tools right here are things that we use for all sorts of different emergencies, whether we need to break locks or we need to break a door to help somebody get out, whether it's shovels to move debris from the roadway, brooms, little hammers, sledgehammers. We have a ton of equipment. Over here we also have ropes, so if somebody were to fall from a really high rock and they needed our help, we have really long ropes we can use to help people. And it's all about having the right tools for whatever emergency might come. Because as firefighters, we have no idea when someone's gonna need our help and what kind of help they're going to need. So with that, let's go ahead and we're gonna show you a couple more things, especially in the back. So we have another firefighter that's gonna join us. Firefighter Sylvain, he's actually our captain. He's in charge of the truck, and he's the one that's making the decisions as to what the firefighters on the truck do. So he's gonna show us, last time we talked a little bit about the artwork, the custom artwork that some of our talented firefighters do. As you can see, this truck has a lot of intricate handwork. This is done by firefighters in our department, and it's something we're very proud of. So Captain Sylvain is the captain of Truck 31, and he's going to show us a little bit of what's behind those doors.
Hello, boys and girls. Thanks for joining us today. Everyone knows that we've got the big ladder up top, right? 100-foot ladder like firefighter Luke says, but not every roof is that high that we need to get to. So what else do we need? We're going to need ladders that have different heights, and that's what we got in this compartment here. We have a total of 12 ladders on this truck. We have one up there and different ones back here. We have some that are real nice and long, straight, and slide all the way out. We have ones that have 2 sections onto them that we can extend out to get to any roof we need to, whether we need to make a hole for ventilation, whether we need to rescue somebody off the roof, whether somebody got hurt while they're working, any kind of needs. Yes, we still do get cats out of the trees. That's what this one's for. So I said there is 12 ladders on here. We've got one big one, 10 back here. And I want you guys to take guesses on where you think the 12th was. And the first person to comment correctly, Firefighter Luke's got a special prize for you. He'll go through all the comments and you find it for him, all right?
That's right. After the feed, go ahead and send us where you think that extra ladder is, so we don't turn this into a question and answer. But thank you, Captain Save. Thank you very much for showing us this. We're gonna move along and show you guys some more things here on the tour truck. One of the things we're gonna go up and show you is this seat back here. This is where the firefighter sits. And like we talked before, this is the seat where the rear driver sits at. So let's go ahead and step in here. As you can see, the view's not super great from back here. The firefighter back here doesn't have brake pedals or an accelerator. They have these little pedals that allow us to do certain beeps to talk to each other. So we use beeps as a backup form of communication in case our headsets don't work. But as you can see here, most of the view is of the ladder, and the firefighter back here has their own steering wheel. And then they have a couple buttons to turn on lights and a couple of indicators as to what those wheels are doing. There's mirrors to see where we're going. And we, as firefighters, work together, the person driving in the front and the person driving in the back, to make sure that we drive safely and we're able to get to calls quickly, again, to go help people. Now, one of the things that we're going to show you in a couple of days, we're going to post a video and we're going to show you some of the capabilities that this tour truck has. Having somebody that drives the back allows this really long fire truck to make U-turns in a very, very tight place. So that's something that's really helpful to us in going to emergencies, and that's something that we really like having our tour trucks for. Is it allows us to do those things and make U-turns where we need to, or make it into cul-de-sacs and so forth. So next up, we're going to show you some of this on the ladder, but specifically we're going to go to another firefighter. Firefighter Tom is going to be here, and he's actually going to demonstrate some of the tools that we use on the ladder. So we have chainsaws and circular saws, all sorts of saws that we use. And the cool thing is we can take some of those saws, and instead of having to carry them all the way to a really high building, we can actually put them at the tip of the ladder and then raise the ladder to the building, and the chainsaw is ready for us. So sometimes we use chainsaws to get bad smoke and air out of a house. So we need to make a hole on the roof. And look at that. The way Firefighter Tom put it, the chainsaw is ready to go up on the roof at a moment's notice without us having to carry it. All right, awesome, Tom, thank you. So the next thing we want to show you is we're going to set up the truck. We're going to lift the ladder, okay? In order to do that, there's a certain sequence of things we need to do. So if you guys want to join me, we're going to go ahead and get dressed. I'm going to show you some of those things. We talked last week, a lot of things that we as firefighters do they're meant for speed, right? People need us and they need us quickly. So remember these buttons? They look like regular buttons, but again, they're snaps. And the reason they're snaps is so we can take this off quickly if we needed to get onto our other gear. Okay, so for this demonstration, I'm gonna put on some protective equipment to make sure I'm safe. That includes my jacket. Okay. So the jacket again has the snaps. And this. I'm gonna put on my helmet. And it might get a little bit noisy just because we're gonna have to run the motor of the truck in order to be able to hear it, okay? So we go over here. I'm gonna start the truck. And I have a couple special buttons that I'm gonna need to push in order to make sure the ladder is ready to go. So the next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you what outriggers are, and they're what stabilizes our truck. It makes it nice and secure so it's safe for us firefighters to climb. So I'm gonna open this. There are these hidden compartments that have these plates, so then the outrigger can sit on. I know that's a really fancy word. I'm gonna show you what that means. Coming out. That's the outrigger. And what that does is it stabilizes the entire stuff. So I line this up with that pad and it's gonna come down. Put a pin to lock it. Alright, and my friend firefighter Nate on the other side is going to lock everything in place. As firefighters, when we need to climb a really tall ladder and we need to be working there for a long time, we can wear these ladder belts. And these belts allow us to clip on to the ladder and allow us to stay there for a while. So I'm gonna put one of these things on. All right, and we're gonna climb up through it. Thank you, Ryan. All right, so we are now at what we call the turntable. So this right here are the controls for the ladder. You guys can see our red lights are on to let everybody know that we're gonna be doing something. There's a little light at the top for firefighters in case it's really smoky, they can see where the ladder is. And there's some tools attached to the ladder. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start raising this ladder. There you guys can see the ladder going up. All right, we're gonna start moving the ladder. You guys can see the ladder is moving. It's hard to see if I just point it up. All right, and then the last step is to extend it. Right now, the ladder is about, let's see, these are my levers. I'm gonna start extending it. So the ladder, when it was all the way back, was about 35 feet, and we're gonna take it to that full 100 feet of extension. We're about 70 feet there, about 80 feet, and we're getting to about 100 feet of extension right there. I'm gonna bring it up just a little bit more. We're gonna rotate. We're doing this very, very gently and soft right now just to show you guys, but we can do this very, very quickly. If somebody needed our help right away, we can get this ladder up really fast to go help them. All right, so we're gonna close this. Now, we're gonna do something a little different. Hold on one second. You guys probably can't see me. There we go. So, I want you guys to be able to see how far up that ladder extends. And again, as firefighters, we use this to show and to get access to people that might be stuck really high up. So as you can see, it's 100 feet in the air. You know what? I have a good idea. Why don't you guys climb up with me, okay? It's gonna take me a minute. We're gonna put a harness on so you guys can see what I see when I'm climbing. So Ryan, if you could hold that for a second. We're gonna put this on. This is not something firefighters normally wear, but it is something we're gonna wear today just to be able to show you what it looks like when we're climbing and what the view looks like from up there. Ryan, could I ask for your help? I'm getting the strap back there. Perfect. Thank you. All right. I'm gonna take this glove off. Now, we're hoping that I'm gonna push the right button and end this feed. So bear with us here for a second. We're gonna change it there. And let's see. Need to make sure I secure the phone nice and tight. We don't want it falling off. Okay. I think, let's see, let's tighten this and tighten that. See how that looks. I think that's gonna work. Okay. So I think we're good to go. I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like climbing up. So again, when we're climbing, I have my gloves on, I have my helmet on, nice and secure, and I'm gonna be holding on the entire way I'm climbing up. Okay, I apologize if the camera is a little sideways. And as we get higher and higher, it gets quieter and quieter. And this part in the middle that you might be able to see is our ladder pipe. And that's where water goes through if we need to get water from a really, really high place. All right, I hope, there we go. You guys can see it's a beautiful day here in San Ramon at our fire station 34. These are the little placeholders for my feet. Oh, you guys can't see that, sorry. These little foot holders where my feet go. So now we are about 100 feet up. I'm gonna lock in. And I hope you guys can see that. It is a beautiful day here. We are 100 feet in the air. I'll show you down there. All right. So when we're up here, we can guide people, we can get people out of buildings. We can also get hose up to a really high floor. We have this little indicator. As an engineer, sometimes you need to know where the tip of the ladder is. So there's this special rope with a ball attached to it so that I can see where the top of the ladder is or the tip of the ladder is. And then, I don't know if you can see, there's some special controls here. And these controls allow firefighters at the very top of the ladder to control the ladder. So if I needed to move it a little bit from way up here, it would be those controls that I would use to do it. All right? I can't see what you guys see, so I really hope you can see something. So I'm gonna unlock now. And we're gonna start climbing down. Same thing, making sure that I'm holding on the entire time. It gets pretty narrow at the top. Because you guys remember Captain Survey was asking about, oh look, here's an axe that we have access. So I don't have to bring one from all the way down below. And Captain Survey was asking a little earlier where the 12th ladder is. I'll give you guys a hint. It's ready in case we need a ladder from the top of the building down to its roof. There's an extra ladder right over here. Over here, boy, I really hope you guys can see this. There's a nozzle, and this nozzle over here is what we use to get water out from a really high angle, from really high up. So this is where water can come out. Now there's a certain setting we can change to make sure this nozzle is all the way at the very, very top. This is the last thing I'm gonna show. Let me clip in. You guys can see that right here. There's a nozzle, raise and lower. And you can see it go down and go up. And we're about 75 feet here, but we can make it all the way to 100. Moving down, I can move it left, right. I can change the pattern so I can make it like a jet stream or like the flower setting on your garden hose. All right. All right, we're almost down to the very bottom. All right, I'm gonna shut this off for a second here so we can hear each other a little bit better. How did it look, Ryan? Were we able to see things? All right, so let me take this off and make sure I don't do it right now. All right, you guys are still there. That's good. Okay. So we showed you guys a lot of different things from our tiller truck. We showed you where the driver sits. We showed you the jaws of life on the other side. We showed you where the tiller seat is. We showed you ladders. We showed you chainsaws. We showed you a lot of things. So we want to make sure we address any questions you guys have after the fact. If you guys have any questions or you want to send us pictures, we appreciate everything you guys are sending. Just send it as a message to our account. I want to take a second to thank the 31 truck crew to come here. Firefighter Smith, Engineer Smith, Okay, and we have Tom, who's here from 34, and Ryan, and our friend Ryan, and Captain Save. We want to thank you guys very much for coming here and letting us use your truck to demonstrate this. If you guys are liking this, please let us know. We're thinking about keeping this going and doing a couple more of these, especially as you guys are staying home. We thank you for staying home. We thank you for your support, and we hope you guys are staying healthy. If you guys have any questions, as always, you can let us know through here. But thank you very much for joining us. Stay safe, and remember, we're always here for you guys. So with this, we'll sign out with just one last walk around of the truck. Yes, we do have a basket. I just saw that. Sorry, we were not reading the questions the entire time. Yes, we do have a basket with some rope. We can get there. And the basket lives back here. I'll show that real quick. The basket is the yellow thing right there. Tiller seat. And you guys joined me in climbing that entire ladder. All right, guys, thank you very much. Remember, stay safe, and we're always here for you. Thank you very much.